All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people, just like you right there, and just like me right here. So Neil Young, Neil Young's not too happy with Spotify. I got all these messages this morning about Neil Young basically wanting to ban Joe Rogan from Spotify for mis and disinformation. That's all you ever hear these days is mis. And you know what mis and disinformation is? It's information that apparently the establishment doesn't like. That's what it's all about. You know, I always liken this to 1984, and I want to just talk to my friends who disagree with me and say, hey, brother, double plus good, man. And we can start just talking like you want us to talk. It's getting a little bit weird and a little bit out there. Do I agree with banning anybody? No, I don't. Could it happen? Yes. Will Spotify get rid of Joe Rogan? No. That's like McDonald's getting rid of their hamburgers. It's not going to happen. Neil Young, by the way, wrote some really important songs back in the day. Ohio being really important at the time. And really the whole CSNY team, they spent a lot of time critiquing what the government was doing, sending people to foreign countries to fight endless wars with no real purpose, with no real end game. I agree with a lot of what they were saying in those days. And if you had a government that came in and said, you know what, you can't say that. You can't say that because you're going against us. And that's bad PR for us. And we need to get rid of you. And, you know, there were some songs that were controversial, like Southern Man, right? Leonard Skinner then wrote a critique of that, a tongue-in-cheek critique, basically, which made their point. They were celebrating the South, and Neil Young was putting the South down. Maybe the South needed a little correction, but that was all free speech, right? And it was good. That was social media back in the day, one band singing a song and another artist singing back to them. Paul McCartney used to write songs at John Lennon and vice versa. It was really the way they communicated, and people heard these songs on the radio and they absorbed the message and then they made their own decision. By the way, what was great about the radio is you could change the station. You can still do that today. What's great about Spotify is if you don't want to listen to a Joe Rogan podcast, you don't have to. But all these people are like all outraged that people are accessing this information and then coming to their own conclusion, right? All of this information is out there. So you've got point and counterpoint. So you can go and listen to the other point of view, and then you can make a decision. What these people are saying is, we're the only ones that are right. These other people, they're not right. And so you can't listen to them. That's crazy. That's just so un-American and ridiculous. And so Neil Young, is he going to win this battle against Spotify? Probably not. This is just a way to call attention and put pressure for somebody to get rid of Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan is having too much of an impact. You know, I've done these interviews recently with somebody kind of important, and I'm wondering if he and Joe Rogan should sit down and have a chat. I think that might just blow up the internet. I don't know if it'll blow it up more than what's happened prior to this, but if they sat down and actually talked about all these things and got this information out there, I think it would be really impactful. But that's just, you know, that's just an idea. And maybe Rogan's people ought to contact Eric Clapton and get him on the show. But as far as Neil Young, look, Neil, we believe in free speech. We respected your speech back in the day, even now. I mean, there are a lot of songs that Neil Young has penned over the years, and some of them keep on rocking in the free world. That would be one that was maybe somewhat offensive with those lyrics, but again, an important song. People need to hear these things. It's like, what are we all going to just go in our little safe space and not be able to hear anything that's a little controversial or outside the box? It's getting rough to be just a normal communicator out there. And you don't know, is this offensive? Who am I offending today? Well, everybody. I'm offending everybody. You know who you're offending mostly? The establishment, the people that are trying to tell you how to run your life every day. And you know what? This is why I'm very libertarian. You do your thing, I'll do my thing. I'll stay out of your way. You'll stay out of my way, and we can actually coexist. That's a big word from Neil Young's era, and I think he ought to try that. If his views and the people that he follow on a day-to-day basis, if those views are powerful, then they will win the argument, or they will sway people away from the stuff that Joe Rogan is talking about. I don't think that's going to happen either, but this is what they call the marketplace of ideas. You don't just shut down the marketplace like these cities are shutting down businesses, right? You don't do that, because then you don't have a business and nobody wants to, play the game anymore. People are going to say, well, why should I say anything if I'm going to be banned or censored? It's a real big problem moving forward. And that's why there's a lot of alternative media popping up. And that's why ratings on these establishment platforms are just tanking. They're plummeting. And they should. Again, people are going to go where they're going to hear the information that will help them make an informed decision. And I think that's what this is all about. And Neil Young should remember. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. You can go listen to Leonard Skinner and have them sing it, because they do it way better than I could say it. So there you have it. Neil Young, Spotify, Joe Rogan, just another day in paradise, people. We'll be back. See you soon.